In this video, we'll demonstrate the Dynamic Resource Management capability, which is new in Oracle VM Server for SPARC 2.0. In this display, we have an Oracle SPARC T5440 server with 256 virtual CPUs and 128 gigabytes of physical memory. We've partitioned this system using OVM Server for SPARC 2.0, creating 8 logical domains represented on the left-hand side of the display in a classic workload consolidation scenario. The domain LDOM Web is running an Apache web server which is about to experience a spike in resource utilization, which we will see in the perf meters on the right. The administrator of this system has already created a DRM policy which we can look at using the LDM list constraints command. This policy establishes both a minimum and maximum CPU count for the domain, as well as establishing a lower and upper bound for CPU utilization. To illustrate how this policy works, we'll observe the LDOM web domain as the spike in resource utilization occurs. As the CPU utilization crosses the 80% threshold, the DRM engine will automatically kick in and begin to add virtual CPU resources to this domain. This addition of virtual CPU resources will continue as long as the utilization remains above 80%, until we hit the policy-established maximum of 24 CPUs in this domain. As you can see, we are now at 24 CPUs on this domain. As the resource spike completes, the DRM engine will once again kick in and begin to take CPUs away from this domain that are no longer being utilized. This removal of CPU resources will continue until the resource utilization rises above 10% or until we reach the minimum CPU count established by policy, which in this case is 8 CPUs. Each domain in the system can have independent policies established, which govern the behaviors for each of the independent workloads. Again, a resource spike occurs, and as before, the DRM engine kicks in and begins adding CPU resources. This greatly aids the overall flexibility and resource management capabilities of OVM Server for SPARC 2.0. All this is occurring with no administrative intervention. For more information, see oracle.com/virtualization.